Welcome back, guys. How are you? It's your host, Hebot, coming at you with another episode of Toys in My Closet. And today we're going to take a look at the more newly released, or the kind of newly released, Masters of the Universe Revelations King Grayskull from the Netflix animated series. This is the interpretation of King Grayskull based off the new Netflix Kevin Smith series. Now, I'll be quite honest, I am not a big fan of race swapping characters. I think it is a cheap and kind of untalented and unrealistic way, right? Or untalented way of, it's like a cheap way of doing things instead of actually creating new characters that are fresh, brand new, into the mythos, into the lore, which would work a lot better in my personal opinion, and that will feel a lot more natural into the source material, especially since it's, something that has been existing for so long a certain way. Kind of like the way Sunman was part of a collection back then that was separate with a nice story behind it, and now they intertwined it and made it part of the Masters of the Universe lore, which I think is excellent, works fantastic, and I'm looking forward to Sunman, the Revelation figure, the same way the one I need to get the one for Origins. Really loved it. Now, in this case though, I really am happy in the execution and how Kevin Smith wrote this version of King Grayskull. And it was done in a very respectful manner and something that's more acceptable. So much so that I actually want to have two versions. I want the original King Grayskull and I want this version of King Grayskull. Because he looks fantastic, as you can see. And yes, I know I'm late to the party. He's been out for quite a while. But there he is in his box, window box opening. This is a deluxe figure, which means the packaging is bigger. I don't think it brings enough accessories to be considered a deluxe figure, but it does have a lot of cloth goods and a lot of nice interchangeable parts, and a wired cape, so that's probably one of the reasons why it is. So it's King Grayskull, an heroic ancestor of He-Man, which that's wrong in the write-up, I believe. There's the write-up. Here's the beautiful artwork of him and the wave of that he's part of. This artwork was done by Iman from the I think it's the Psych Show podcast that he does, and he was from the Roast Google Dinner. Amazing artist. He's a big He-Man fan. He does beautiful work all the time. And then this artwork here on the side also, as you can see there, very nicely done. And then on the top, of course, it says Masterverse, and then Mattel in the lower hand corner. Now, we're right there. Now, we know this is supposed to be a more adult collector line, not just for kids, but kids can also collect it. So, that's the beauty of this line. So let's get him out of the package and see what he has to offer right out of the package, because he looks fantabulous, and let's see how good he really is in hand. And here we have King Grayskull out of the packaging. And I'm telling you, he looks absolutely fantastic. Really pleasantly surprised. I really loved the style and the color and the aesthetics. He looks really, really well done. Let's take a closer look. And before we do this too, I want to thank you guys at the bottom of my heart for your continued support, for the new subscribers, for all the love and respect you guys keep giving me daily and monthly and weekly, and thank you for tuning in and having a digital drink every time with Toys in My Closet, and joining me for the journey when we do these unboxings and we do these reviews. I appreciate it a whole lot. So really fast, guys, let's take a quick look at him. And the first thing we'll start off with is his portrait, obviously, which is his face, which looks really, really good, as you can see. Really nice with his yellowy eyes. Nice detailed eyebrows painted in nicely, and his head and hair long with the reds on the locks. He has dreadlocks all over, and he has the dreadlock coming down the back, looking very barbaric, with this pin, which is the symbol of the harness crest that was originally in the front for He-Man, and the style, it looks like in the H style. And there's his harness with the star crest. Only thing is, I don't know why they don't do these harnesses where they go, like, ride lower a little bit more. I don't know why, but that's my only kind of gripe with that. I wish they did ride a little lower. Because of this, they look so high. And another thing is that the actual figure, like, you could bring it down. You could bring it down like so, to like the chest area, but because of that, when you try to pin it and strap it in the back here in this area, it doesn't go very far. It actually stays, it gives you a hard time to keep it on like that. So yeah, I like that. And you see the nice tone of blacks, or that nice tan beige color on his skin. Looks awesome. Very nice representation of black toned skin. Really looks elegant and very excellent, and it's nice matte finish with a little sheen gloss in certain areas. The wrist buckles in that nice gold with the kind of copper brown inside. I love the beige on the loincloth, the beige here on the top of the on the neck area, and it's all soft and like made out of hair. The gold on the belt with the bronze in the middle, and then the loincloth in the bottom with with that beige color, and then the boots in that brown with some black straps as well. Look really cool. And then obviously the cape is a really nice kind of like a burgundy color, really nice, like a light red, almost burgundy. Looks really nice. And the materials like same thing, like like Scareglow, same thing, same one, with the frills in the bottom, looking tethered and beat up, like based off combat, and they have the wires at the end, very Scareglowish. I think it's the exact same one, just with different colors, which is really cool. And the Scareglow I'm talking about is the obviously is the Comic-Con or the Mattel Creations exclusive, which I do have them here, so I'll bring them in real quick so you guys can see what I mean. And you put them side by side, and you can see right there that it's the same. It's the same exact cape, which looks really cool. It looks really, really nice. It's really nicely done. So that's what he looks like, and as far as his paint job and his face, looks really good. So now let's take a look real quick at the accessories that King Grayskull comes with in his packaging. So here we are. Here are the accessories he comes with. As you see, it's not too many. I can't stand the extra portrait, but he does come with an extra portrait. And this is what it looks like with the frown, or the grunt, or the grinning, where he's angry, I guess, is the best way to describe it. As you can see there. And then, the hair detail is really nice, same thing. It's the same exact face and portrait, other than, the expression, which is really cool. Then he has his shield that every He-Man character brings. And inside is gold where you hold it, with the nice red, burgundy, and the gold. And then the outer rim is gray. Then he brings an extra set of hands, and one hand is open, as you can see there, for the shield, and then one is a fist, so he can do his fisticuffs, which are really nicely detailed as well. Then we'll slide right over, and he brings the sword that is supposed to fuse into one, which we see that in the TV show. But in this case, they made them separate because once they separated, they actually looked quite different. And you can see how beautiful is that metallic purple on there. I don't know if that's a chip or if that's meant to be painted in silver. Same thing like there. It looks like it's missing some paint. But for the most part, the paint job is done really, really well. And that's the hilt. The little balls on it. And design in the bottom. And then that's the rest of the sword there. You can see that flat kind of matte silver gray with that unique end, and then the other one is in gold. It looks like this side looks like the traditional He-Man sword with the gold, and then it has that other shape on the side. Are they supposed to fuse together? The hilt is that brown. It's silver, as you can see. Gold going up really nicely up the sword. I got a little bit paint blemishes there. And then you see that the sword is kind of straight as opposed to having that arch, because they're supposed to fuse together like this on both ends. And then they form, you know, what would be the one sword if they were fused together. It's supposed to look something like that. But that, you know, the Scareglow, the exclusive one brought one, but it's very more kiddified. It's kind of childish and goofy looking, but it's supposed to split, and that's what it's supposed to be, you know, implementing. This is done more with the real look and style and quality of an adult, you know, collector's line or a more premium line. So guys, let's take a look at King Grayskull with the weapons on him and the accessories. And here we go, guys. Here's King Grayskull with all of his accessories, and he looks pretty badass. Like I said, he looks really incredible, and his interpretation looks really good with the colors, with the beige, his tone, you know, his tan skin, the burgundy red. It just looks really good. The gold and the copper, it looks really well, and it works really well with him and the characters, what he looks like in the back, like so. Looks really, really dope. Really, really nice. And again, like I said, I want to have both interpretations on my shelf because they just looks too good. So what I did was I had bought a extra He-Man, basic Revelations He-Man in Hot Topics, or I think it was FYE for $10. And then I had an extra Master Universe Classics King Grayskull. And as you can see, the top part that's supposed to have the flocking looks pretty worn and kind of yellowed, so it matches the beige from him as well, from, you know, King Grayskull from Revelations. So what I want to do is I customize the figure in certain paint jobs, and I'm going to do some swapping of heads because, to be honest, I'm going to take a quick pause. I'm going to let you see right here the King Grayskulls from Classics I really didn't like, which I'll show you right now. As you can see, I didn't like the way he looks because he reminded me too much of that comparison when I showed you, and he looked like Maniac Cop from the old classic horror movie. I just thought he looked too, I never liked the way he looked. So I want to do a new modernized King Grayskull from classic style, and also with this Revelations, I have two to display on my shelf. And the nice thing with this one was the way they did it in the story is that instead of him being an actual descendant or relative or ancestor of He-Man, because He-Man is actually Caucasian, he like the way King Grayskull was, and that was his great, I guess, the grandfather that was chosen or whatever. In this case, they were just chosen champions in the story of Revelations, where a chosen champion was the one chosen to be He-Man. So in this case, the first chosen champion was actually King Grayskull, this version, which is the African American black version of He-Man. And they also had Vicor and Wonder Bread Man and Hero, which were all chosen heroes to be He-Man. And that's how they did it. And I thought it was very respectful, it was done very well, and it worked. Because I don't like cheap character swap just for the sake of doing it, because I feel it's cheaply done. You can do it in a much more fresh and original and talented way by adding and introducing new characters, in my personal opinion, like I said. So what we'll do now is get the other He-Man, do a comparison, and see if I can get them to look the way I want for both of them. But before we do that, we'll show some comparisons with some other figures. So here is King Grayskull next to the Combatants Fight for Glory, Invictus and Anubis. They are like, gladiators, and obviously King Grayskull looks like a barbarian gladiator. So they look quite nice, just to give you an idea. Also on the scale, so both supposed to be 7-inch scale figures, and they look pretty dope. And here he is next to some other Masterverse figures. Obviously, you have here the regular Skeletor with a swapped head from the New Eternia Skeletor, which I think looks pretty cool. And then you have here the Savage He-Man, which is also known as Olar, from Revelations. As you see, they scale very nicely and look differently in a lot of ways. So moving right along, and here we have him next to the McFarlane Toys Amazon or Amazonian style Wonder Woman. I believe she's from Black Metal, if I'm not mistaken. She looks very barbaric. She has the crown, the mohawk, and she has the cape, looking really Amazonian and barbaric. And I have it here next to the Pacific Rim Robot Spirits Bandai, from Bandai. I believe it's called Saber Athena, robot, character from the Pacific Rim movie. And you can see they scale differently, because one's more 6 and the other's on the 7-inch scale. But just so you can have an idea what different, collections look like to each other. And here I have them next to the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Ranger Blue Ranger crossover with Leonardo and Blue Ranger crossover. Then on this side we have the comic book, The Boys from Amazon Prime TV series, NECA Homelander. Which you can see that they're both different scales as well. They have those different colors. One's a bright blue. The other one's a more toned down, monotone blue. So you can see there that they look really awesome next to each other. Now, let me put together what I'm trying to do with the two King Grayskulls that I'm trying to create, and then I'll put them side by side and give you an idea of what I'm trying to do. Okay, one more time, like I was trying to tell you guys. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to recreate the two King Grayskulls from Revelations and from Classics, because I really enjoy both of them, and I want to have both representation on my shelf. So I'm going to use an extra He-Man, which you guys see here. An extra He-Man, as you can see, I did some detailed changes to him that I bought from FYE. He was $10, so I'm gonna use him as a baseline for the other He-Man. I'm gonna use Savage He-Man's head, and then I'm gonna use the Masters of the Universe Classics cape from the Classics Masters of the Universe Grayskull. This is what I'm gonna use to create the two that I want to create for the shelf. So I'm going to take a really quick pause, come back, and have both of them presented to you right in front and see what you guys think. I'll be right back. And here you have it, guys. Here it is. This is my interpretation of both King Grayskulls on shelf. I have the Classics Revelations style in Revelations form without using the actual classic one. And then I have the Master Universe Revelations actual King Grayskull that was made for the series itself. Now, you're gonna notice that I used the actual cape that came with him with the extra He-Man, and you see that I painted the big shout outs to my daughter because she had it done for me. The belt area and the buckles in silver on both sides, even on his other gauntlet, because that's the color that King Grayskull had it originally. And that's probably the hardest part of this customization. Everything else is just swapping stuff up. So I swapped out the head from Savage He-Man and put it on to the He-Man, and then gave the He-Man one to Savage He-Man like this. Put it on him because he still looks like Olar. It's just his head is not as it's not as long. That way I eliminate from having to buy another Savage He-Man and another King Grayskull, because I used his that came with him because it's all strap-on, right? Because Savage He-Man's hair doesn't go down the back long enough there to hold that cape down with his hair. But I use the cape from Classics with the newer King Grayskull, which is him, because he has the dreadlock in the back of his head, and so that dreadlock actually holds that cape on, because that cape has no plugs or nothing and no straps. It's just you put it in the back, and it's basically form fitted, and it fits perfectly onto his body. And so it's form fitted on, and that one is not made out of material, it's obviously made out of plastic. And then I changed the actual harness because that one was connected, and the shields gave him the He-Man shield and his two regular swords. But as you can see, they both look fantastic. I basically have the two representations of King Grayskull that I want, and I didn't have to buy an extra King Grayskull or an extra Savage He-Man. Now, don't get me wrong, if I can find another Savage He-Man head in the market and pick it up, I probably will, just so that I can have the Savage He-Man with the normal head. But I think he still looks good as Olar with the shorter hair anyway. Plus, he's not really a big important character, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. I want you guys to let me know on the bottom down below if you like this solution. It's pretty cheap, and I think it's effective. And as you can see, they both look great. You can have both of them on the shelf with a very simple solution. You just need you need an extra He-Man, you need to use the head from Savage He-Man, and then you can paint this here, like I said, and just do the swap outs on the characters, and that's it, you're done. Let me know if you guys like it and what you think of it down in the comments below, and I would love your feedback and appreciate what you have to say. So now let's go to the final thoughts of the figure and my thoughts on, what I think from the end of the review. So there you have it, folks. There it is, the Masters of the Universe Revelations Netflix series King Grayskull by Kevin Smith. And this is actually the other version of King Grayskull, obviously, for those who don't know. And he is in a very, very solid and strong figure. If you never had any grayskulls before, had no attachments to King Grayskull, I can honestly tell you this figure would be an excellent addition to your collection and will not bother you in any way, shape, or form. I'm the type of person that I've always, with all of my collections, if I have a character, I want it to be to the essence of the original idea. It's nothing about preferences in any shape, way, or form, with colors or ethnicity. I just like my characters to be the way they're supposed to be, or that they were originally created. Just like I wouldn't like to see someone change my boy Blade into a white boy or into a Chinese dude, or I wouldn't like to see him change, a character like Clamp Champ and make Champ Indian. I don't like that. I feel race swapping characters is a cheap way to doing things to add inclusivity. If you want to add inclusivity, I think the best way to do it is by making a brand new character and giving it its well dues and justice. That it doesn't feel like it's cheaply tacked on or added on just to appeal to a certain ethnic background. That's not cool. I think that's more disrespectful to the ethnicity and to the whatever ethnicity that person may be, or those people may be, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, black, Caucasian, doesn't matter. I just think it's more insulting. I think creating new characters shows more respect and love. The way that they did with Sunman. Sunman is amazing. He looks incredible. Brand new, unique character. Powers come from the sun as well. Yeah, he may have some similarities to Superman, but he doesn't look nothing like him. His powers are not like them. They're not shared. He has some yellow wings that he can either harness on his shoulder or on his back. Really awesome figure. I can't wait for him to come out on the Revelations line big time. They showed him a while back, and I'm really looking forward to him. The same way I love my boy Clan Chap. That's one of my favorites. I hope they make him in Revelations as well, and they don't skimp out on us because they want to go into this new Eternian territory only. So guys, there it is. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think of my review. Let me know what you think of the figure. I know I may be late to the party, but this is my version and my approach to the review and this figure. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Share the video with someone you think might like it. And for those of you that continue to give me support, thank you for all your support throughout the years, because without you, my channel would not be sustained. I'm really blessed and truly humbled to have you guys still here in or on my channel and my family. Now, if you're new to the channel and like what I do, hey, if you subscribe, thank you so much. Whether you did or you didn't, doesn't really matter. But if you did, just remember that it means the world to me, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did, I consider you now part of my family. And guys, if you ever want to find me in any of my social platform or media, everything is down in the description below how you can find me. Also, if you want to help me from the kindness of your heart, so because you have the means to do it, or like what I do and want to help me out, because it will go a long way, I will not lie, it will help. There is also a way you can do so, also down in the description below, with my Patreon and PayPal information. Again, only if you want to, only if you have the means to, or if you want to from the kindness of your heart. It's not obligated. Either way, I still love you, and it's still okay. Guys, this is Hebot, your host of Toys in My Closet, signing off with an exciting episode of Masters of the Universe. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.